Well, I went to the bayou just last night. There was no moon, but the stars were bright. Put a big long hook on a big long pole, and I pulled Mr. Crawfish out of his hole. Welcome back to a Compendium of Monsters. It's Chuuls week. Before we continue, slap that subscribe button and get ready for a crawfish boil. Maybe you don't want to eat these. Chuuls are challenge level 4, and I am all for killing them since their name is not a singular plural. What sounds less impressive than Chuuls? These large aberrations have an armor class of 16, average hit points of 93, a speed of 30 feet, a swim speed of 30 feet, and dark vision out to 60 feet. Chuuls can understand deep speech, so they might receive commands from their aboleth overlords, but they cannot speak. I mean, look at that mouth. There's so much going on, you couldn't get a word in edgewise even if you wanted to. Chuuls are immune to poison damage and the poison condition. Ordinarily, I'd make a snarky remark about not being impressed, but I didn't expect much from an oversized crawdad and am grudgingly impressed. As is common with overgrown crustaceans, Chuuls have the amphibious ability, which allows them to breathe water and air. That's f***ing lucky, considering their movement speed of 30 feet would be pretty useless if they had to hold their breath over land. Chuuls have the sense magic ability, which allows them to sense magic within 120 feet of themselves, though the Chuul has to cast it like a spell, even if it doesn't cost an action. Chuuls have a conditional triple multi-attack that allows 2 attacks with their pincers and 1 attack with their tentacles. The pincer attacks inflict an automatic grapple each time they successfully hit a target and have a 10-foot range. I'll do me one better. The Chuul can grapple 2 creatures simultaneously, though the creatures must be large or smaller in size. The average of 11 bludgeoning damage is a little low, though Chuuls make up for that deficit with their tentacles. The tentacle attack doesn't deal damage, but forces a constitution saving throw against 1 minute of poison that results in paralysis. No, and here I thought those disgusting appendages in my face would result in the best skincare routine I've ever had. Remember, paralysis means you have advantage to get attacked by enemies, and any enemy that scores a hit on a paralyzed creature deals critical damage. Sure, a creature can save against the paralytic poison at the end of each of its turns, but come on, it's going to get a lot uglier before it gets better. Aboleths created Chuuls as obedient servants and imbued the Chuuls with a certain amount of sentience. A Chuul's life is divided into 2 main priorities: sniffing out magic items using their sense magic ability and enforcing the aboleth's will above surface. If you haven't seen my aboleth video, aboleths only have 10 feet of movement on land, which makes it difficult to cow your serfs into obedience if they can outrun you at a rate of 3 to 1. While Chuuls love to consume bodies, they won't eat brains. I mean, at that point, why not? You've already consumed the rest of the nervous system anyways. Didn't your parents teach you not to waste food? According to the wiki, it's because Chuuls trade brains with mind flayers. It's awfully hard to trade with hentai brain suckers when you can't speak any languages, but alright, let's check their source for that. Oh wait! Doesn't exist. Why am I not surprised? DMs. Chuuls are melee bruisers that are great at inflicting damage on any of your player's characters that aren't great with strength checks or constitution saving throws. With an intelligence of 5, Chuuls are half as smart as your average bear and depend more on instinct than a particular battle plan. With the high likelihood your players will choose at least one character that has devastating ranged attacks, have your battle start with the Chuul submerged underwater. Chuuls can appear in any kind of aqueous environment: swamps, marshes, ocean, lakes, rivers. Your imagination really is the limit. On average, Chuuls are 8-ish feet tall and weigh a quarter ton. Plan ahead if you plan to maximize this curvaceous crustacean's initial attack. If your Chuul has a creature grappled and paralyzed, focus them with the remaining pincer attacks until they're downed. A Chuul should always have one creature grappled and another creature it's trying to grapple. If you can't grab one of your player's characters, try grabbing a different player character. All's fair in a shrimp cocktail. Poor f***ers never saw it coming anyways. Chuuls typically operate alone or with an additional Chuul, so don't plan to add a bunch of additional minions for this fight. If I'm being honest per my usual, Chuuls are an appetizer fight for something worse. Chuuls don't typically kill player characters and aren't the toughest monster on the block. Unless commanded by a superior force to give their life, Chuuls rarely fight to the death and will flee when reduced to 1/3 of their hit points. The best part of throwing a Chuul at your players is Chuuls typically hoard magical items in their lairs. If you've been looking for an excuse to give that fighter a +1 longsword, your ranger a +1 bow, or maybe your poor wizard finally gets a magical book, a Chuul's lair may contain one or more of these things. Just don't go overboard or you'll break your game. Players! Chuuls will ambush you when you least expect it, but it's fairly easy to avoid dying to one, and that limits the amount of advice I'm willing to give you. If you're a caster, keep yourself out of melee range. If you're a martial melee with a high armor rating, consider ditching your shield if applicable. Chuuls prefer easy targets as prey, and if they can't catch you with a pincer, they'll go for the healer or someone else you don't want paralyzed and murdered. If your DM allows flanking, that's really your best bet to inflict enough damage to force the Chuul to retreat. Though, keep in mind that it may not retreat if guarding its lair or commanded by a superior creature. How the Chuul behaves tells you what you might be up against, and if you're your situation appears to be on the verge of versus an aboleth at level 4, run away! Not today, Satan! Anyways, what do you all think about Chuuls? Let me know in the comments below. A special thank you to my patrons. And thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share my video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and make the leap to become one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll see you all next time.